What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So a couple weeks ago I made a video talking about my best Pokemon of every type, and well, when you talk about the best of something on YouTube, particularly Pokemon, you of course have got to talk about the worst as well, so here we are. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys my personal worst Pokemon of every type. Some types were easier to pick than others, and some of these Pokemon I like more than others, but overall, they all get the honor of being the worst Pokemon in my opinion of their respective type, so without further ado, let's check it out. Okay, so starting with the normal type, we have Ambipom, and really and truly, Ambipom is just one of my least favorite Pokemon of all time. I really do not like Ambipom for a number of different reasons, but mostly it's just because of how freaking ugly it is. Like, it honestly just looks like Ambipom, or Apom rather, is just stuck in the worst stage of puberty, and then its mom gave it a haircut that it knew looked bad, but decided to give it to Apom anyway, just because this parent hates Apom as a person and just wants to see it fail. And on top of that, the main feature of Ambipom, which are its two tail hand things, just look really awful. They look like they're all bloated and swollen and just have been hit by a baseball bat a couple times, and that just doesn't make any sense. Like, why? And because Ambipom is so ugly, it also ruined what could have been a really cool evolution for Apom, who is a really cool Pokemon that I really enjoy. So yeah, Ambipom doesn't really work for me. Okay, so this next one, I've said it before a million times, so we're just gonna say it, we're gonna get over with it, and we're just gonna move on to the next one. My least favorite fire type is Delphox. I think it looks really ugly. It just, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Next up is the water type, and this is another one I've mentioned I do not like before, and that would be Simipour. Like, I generally don't have a problem with humanoid-esque Pokemon as long as they pull it off well, but the hairdo sort of thing that Simipour's got going on just isn't doing it for me, and then the dress that isn't a dress, it's part of its body, but it looks like a dress, that's just really weird and unnatural to me, so yeah, not a Simipour fan. Next up for the electric type, we have someone who is definitely not my boy, and that would be Stunfisk. Every time I look at Stunfisk, I just get this, like, feeling in my body that's just like, it's just not a good-looking Pokemon at all, in my opinion, and the worst part about it is that it's a fish, but it's not a water type. And to make things even worse, as if it could get any worse, Stunfisk originally was a water type, but it was changed to either a ground type or an electric type instead to balance out the types amongst the Unova Pokedex for Gen 5. Like, how stupid of a reason can you get for a typing of a Pokemon? Honestly, if they had a problem with water types, they should have just scrapped Stunfisk altogether and brought it back in a later generation, and that would have been fine, but nope, they decided to make a fish, not a water type. Yeah, that was a good idea. For the grass type, we have Budew, and Budew is a Pokemon that I actually don't really dislike at all. I just kind of had to have a grass type here, obviously, but the one thing that Budew kind of does for me that kind of pushed it over the top was that it kind of feels like an unnecessary Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love when Game Freak adds pre-evolutions and evolutions to already existing Pokemon, and I wish they would do it more. However, it just doesn't seem like Roselia needed a pre-evolution. I love Roserade, and I'm glad they gave it an evolution, but I just don't think a Pokemon like Roselia needed a pre-evolution as well, so it just kind of makes Budew kind of just for me. For the ice type, my least favorite Pokemon is Jinx, and do I really need to say anything else? For the fighting type, my least favorite Pokemon is Hariyama, and it's because Hariyama has always had a very, very weird look to me ever since I very first saw it when it was revealed in Ruby and Sapphire. I do understand that Hariyama is supposed to represent a sumo wrestler of some kind, but it just always had this really, like, unintelligible look to me that just made it just look like this blob of, I don't know exactly. Hariyama just always came off as this really odd, weird-looking Pokemon that was just fat and gross, if we're being completely honest, so yeah, it just never appealed to me at all. For the poison type, we've got Skuntank, and while I really like the fact that we have a skunk Pokemon and I don't have anything wrong with Skuntank's design, its cry is just about the most gross thing you will ever hear in your life, so by default, I had to make it my least favorite poison type Pokemon. Moving on to the ground type, my least favorite ground type Pokemon has gotta be Landorus, and that is because I hate all 3 of the genie Pokemon. A, they don't look like Pokemon at all. B, their designs just are not very good quality at all. And C, they're completely unnecessary because we already have 2 other trios in Unova with the Swords of Justice and the Tau trio. So, like, what the heck are these guys even doing? And wouldn't you know it, my least favorite flying type Pokemon is Tornadus for the same reason. So let's just go ahead and move on and not give these guys the attention that they do not deserve. For the Psychic type, we've got another Unova Pokemon, and I know I'm gonna get Unova hate. I don't hate Unova, I just don't like some of the Pokemon here, and that would be Swoobat. I wouldn't say that I hate Swoobat with a fiery passion the same way I do the Genies, for instance, but it's just never really been that appealing of a Pokemon for me, and the fact that it is very clearly just kind of a ripoff of Zubat and Golbat just makes it that much less cool in my opinion. For the Bug type, my least favorite has got to be Kricketune. Now, I know that Kricketune is partially a music-based Pokemon and it's supposed to represent a conductor, and naturally you think I would like that, because obviously I'm a music type of person. But you know what? I could really do without that mustache, man. Like, on the one hand, you've got its concept, which is a bug firefly orchestra conductor Pokemon, which sounds really cool and really unique, but I feel like they botched it by giving it that mustache and just making it really ugly. And then on top of that, its cry is nothing to mess with either, and if you slow down its cry, it literally sounds like you're descending into the afterlife while you're still alive, so yeah, Kricketune, stay away from me. For the Rock type, we have a Pokemon that looks like it was made out of leftover Pokemon parts that were found in Sid's toy chest from Toy Story, and that would be Barbaracle. I did mention it once before on the channel, but Barbaracle just looks like it's the product of some sort of incestual just act of terror, because it just has so many disjointed parts to it. It's got hands coming out of its shoulders, its head is a hand, and it's just got like multiple arms and everything, and it just looks really, really freaky and awkward. You know, I'm sure this has got to be something to do with barnacles, and I'm sure it makes sense with what it's based on, but its design just looks weird and it's not for me. For the Ghost type, this was a bit of a harder one to pick because I don't necessarily super dislike any Ghost types, but my least favorite has got to be Trevenant. While I wouldn't necessarily say I hate Trevenant at all, I absolutely love Phantump, and it's actually my second favorite Pokemon, and just compared to Phantump, Trevenant really let me down as its evolution. I just feel like Trevenant could look a lot cooler coming from an awesome looking Pokemon like Phantump, and it just kind of really let me down, and basically I had higher expectations for a Phantump evolution than Trevenant turned out to be, so by default it kind of ended up as my least favorite Ghost type, but I wouldn't necessarily say I hate it either. For my least favorite Dragon type, we actually have a very similar situation to the Trevenant situation, and that would have to do with Kommo-o. Literally exactly like Phantump and Trevenant, I absolutely love Jangmo-o, and it's gotta be one of my favorite Alola Pokemon, but then it just becomes progressively uglier and uglier and uglier as it goes on until it reaches Kommo-o, which is really just a disappointment when coming from a really cool looking Pokemon like Jangmo-o. On top of that, it's got a really cool typing as well, being the first dragon fighting type, so it's just really that much more of a shame that it looks as ugly as it does when it's got a very cool looking pre-evolution and a cool type. So for me, it's just a case of what could have been. For the Dark type, we have none other than another Unova Pokemon, and that would of course be Liepard. Now, Liepard just kind of has just another awkward sort of look for me. It's a very, like, colorful looking Pokemon, which doesn't make really a lot of sense because it's a dark type, but on top of that, I don't feel like the colors work good. Like, it is purple and yellow, and if I remember correctly, purple and yellow are complementary colors, but it just isn't a good color combination for me personally because I just think it looks like not good. You know what? I am really, really sorry to all of the Gen 5 fans out there. I promise I don't hate it, but my least favorite steel type is Kling-Klang. I really don't like Kling-Klang because it's literally just Kling and Klang put together. And you can make the same argument for Magnemite and Magneton, but the thing that Kling-Klang does that's even worse is that not only does it combine the designs of its two pre-evolutions and just calls itself a new Pokemon, but it also literally combines the names. Kling and Klang, put them together, and it evolves into Kling-Klang. Like, could we not get any more creative over there, Game Freak? And finally, for my least favorite Pokemon, we have the Fairy type, and my least favorite Fairy Pokemon would be Aromatisse. First off, Aromatisse is just really ugly looking. It looks like a bit of a monstrosity, if we're being honest. Secondly, like some other Pokemon on this list, it lost a lot of potential when it evolved from its evolution in Spritzee, because Spritzee is a really cool Pokemon. It's a perfume, like, little birdie that's also like a witch doctor. Like, those type of things should not belong together, but they belong so well together in Spritzee, and then basically when it evolves into Aromatisse, it's like the blender was on and all of these good things were blending together, but then when Spritzee evolved, the lid came off and just threw everything everywhere, and Spritzee is basically that smoothie, or Aromatisse rather, is that smoothie that's just all over your beautiful brand new kitchen cabinets, and then you just have to basically remember this moment for the rest of your life when you look at those stained kitchen cabinets, and then you just can't ever like make a smoothie ever again just because you're so shocked at what just happened, and you're shocked and you just can't ever eat fruit again. And there we have it. Now, hopefully I didn't trigger too many of you with my picks, because of course this is only my opinion, and if you feel differently, that's perfectly fine. And if you do feel differently, you should definitely let me know about that different opinion in the comments below, and if you agree, you should also let me know about your opinion in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like as well, because it really helps out, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for new Pokemon content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Also, if you haven't followed me on Spotify yet, please do, because we're going to be running a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee giveaway when the games come out, if we can hit 1,500 followers by that time, and we're already over halfway there, so it should be a piece of cake. And really quick before we sign off the video, I just have a couple of thank yous I need to give to you guys. First off, I mentioned it in a couple posts before this video, but I wanted to tell you directly face to face, thank you all so much for 70,000 subscribers. Getting to 100,000 subscribers has literally been my life's dream since I started this channel almost 6 years ago, and it's just literally been everything that I've ever wanted, and now we're less than 30,000 away. And that is just mind-boggling to me. And I say we because this is really a joint effort here. I would be nowhere near where I am today without your guys' support, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. So look me in the eyes and let me tell you that I love you so much. I also have a very special thank you to give over to ODX98 over on Instagram, because he actually reached out to me and actually was kind enough to deliver a package of stuff directly from Japan for me, and so I just wanted to thank him on camera and show it off. He got me this Pikachu kimono freaking piece of adorableness. He got me a Pikachu Pokemon Center coin, like this is actually from the Pokemon Center, and he got me a couple packs of, I'm not sure what this set is because it's in Japanese, but Japanese Pokemon cards. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to open these because I don't play the TCG, but either way, I appreciate it so much. Just wanted to give that shout out to ODX. Thank you. This Pikachu is going up right here and will be there for every single video. With all that being said though, I will be back on Saturday for another video, so hit that notification bell if you haven't yet to be notified as soon as it goes live, and until then, as always, I will smell you guys later.